Stephen A's contradictory messages here can only be defined and described in one way, accurately: racist. I'm going to start with a daily dose of Stephen A. Smith, a topic we've been hammering for a while. And I want to show you how, in order to have the reach, in order to have the algorithms, in order to have the system back you, what you must be willing to do as a black media person. And it's what I'm unwilling to do. And it's what many of you are unwilling to do. But the thing I keep asking you every day on this show is, what is it that you are willing to do? Are you willing to do a little more, push a little harder, so that we can continue to have growth and not be silenced by the gatekeepers? And so I want to play you Bobby Burak at Outkick, covers the media. Bobby's a good young man, good journalist. You know, he points out a lot of the hypocrisies and contradictions in the media. And this week or yesterday, he wrote a story about Stephen A. Smith and how Stephen A. Smith seemingly had two different reactions within a span of a week, 10 days, to Joel Embiid, the Philadelphia 76ers center, scoring 70 points. Joel Embiid, black dude, maybe he's from Cameroon. I can't remember where Joel Embiid's from. He played a year of college basketball at Kansas. He's a great player. Scored 70 points for the 76ers. And then Luka Doncic, white guy from maybe Serbia, you know, one of these Eastern European countries or whatever. He scored 73 points, and Stephen A. trashes Luka Doncic's performance, or, you know, says the Atlanta Hawks played no defense and it's embarrassment. But when Joel Embiid, black guy, scores 70, it's one of the great performances. Let's just contrast these two comments from Stephen A. Smith about Joel Embiid and Luka Doncic. Let's play Joel Embiid first.
But I will tell you this. We're talking about Embiid right now, 30 points or more in 21 consecutive games. And yet the Philadelphia 76ers, winners of 6 straight, are still 4 games out of first place. So what this says to me, when I did the message that Embiid send to the rest of the NBA, this brother is phenomenal, arguably the best big man in the game. Obviously, Jokic always warrants our consideration. But the message he sent is that he's going for the championship. He's not trying to mess around. He already got the league MVP. I think that's the message he's trying to send. My point is, Shannon, that's the message he needs to send, because how he's playing is what's going to be required in order for him to pull this off as the Sixers are presently constructed. That's the message that I received from him. He knows this is what it's going to take, and he's willing to do it. So everybody beware, because he already got the chip. He ain't worried about no 65 games and, you know, whether you qualify for the league MVP award. This brother is coming for the chip. He wants it bad. Let's see what he does come postseason time.
So that's Stephen A. Smith talking about Joel Embiid. Luka Doncic has been in the league 5-6 years and, you know, playing for the Dallas Mavericks. I would think he'd won a championship too. But he scores 73 points, and it provokes this from Stephen A. Smith.
The Atlanta Hawks, no wonder why y'all stink. Did you see how they played defense last night? I mean, this is not Joel Embiid, who played Billy Ball, because you know what, you have a thin Victor Wembanyama on you. We understand that. We expect that. This is not a situation where Karl Anthony Towns dropped 58 in the first 3 quarters and then disappeared. It was an APB out for him in the fourth quarter and all of this other stuff. But the 58 points he scored in those first 3 quarters, a lot of those points, he was being challenged. This is not that. What transpired last night in Atlanta was disgraceful. It made me feel like let's just go out and get somebody that don't want. You don't have to play defense. All you got to do is play offense. You don't have to play defense. That's what the hell took place in Atlanta last night. There's a difference. Don't tell me anybody wants that. No, you don't want to change it and go back to old times. But in the same breath, you don't mean for it to resemble the first 3 quarters at NBA All-Star Weekend, which is what last night looked like in Atlanta, Georgia. The Hawks, you should be ashamed of your damn self. You really should.
So anybody that's paid attention to the NBA knows that what Luka Doncic did and how the Atlanta Hawks played, that's par for the course in this new NBA. All the rules have been doctored and changed. The players all make so much money. There's so much load management. The paint has been opened up in a way to promote people driving to the lane uncontested. And yet many regular season NBA games look like a competitive all-star game. They look like what NBA all-star games used to look like in the 1970s and 80s and 90s. Kind of some Ole defense, and you can get to the rim very easily. Everybody knows this is widespread and rampant throughout the NBA. For Stephen A to single out this Atlanta Hawks game and Luka Doncic and how, you know, the Hawks played Ole defense, but Karl Anthony Towns and Joel Embiid, they were phenomenal. They were, you know, playing great ball, and they were being it's a joke. And it's Stephen A's contradictory messages here can only be defined and described in one way, accurately: racist. He's got a racist double standard, and many people in the league, because the NBA is a black-dominated league, they share that view. We saw it. And I want to be careful because, you know, to some, I like and respect Kendrick Perkins. But last year, Nikola Jokic won the NBA championship and should have won his 3rd straight MVP award. But Kendrick Perkins jumped in and played the race card on MVP voters. And basically, you know, if you guys remember last year, he basically said that voters or people were favoring Nikola Jokic because he's white, and that put everybody in check. And the next thing you know, Joel Embiid won the MVP when everybody pretty much knows Jokic was the most valuable player, and the Nuggets went on to win the championship, and the Philadelphia 76ers bowed out, as they have done throughout Joel Embiid's stay in Philly. There's this racism that is required, anti-white racism that is required in the sports media world for widespread success and acceptance. The message is being pushed out very clearly. The Matrix, the internet, that's what it rewards. Anti-white racism. They have designed a system for systemic racism. They've done that. And I'll be called an Uncle Tom and a coon for pointing it out. What I will not be called is a liar. I will not be called a liar because I've been consistent throughout my entire 30-year career as a journalist. I think it's now 34 years. And I think if you remove the first 12 years of my life, 44 years just as a human being, I've always been against racism. When the system was tilted and favored white guys and discriminated against black guys, I complained then. Now that the system is tilted and is tilted against white guys, I still don't like racism, so I complain now. But since I'm off script and since the system has been designed to punish anybody that challenges the anti-white narrative that is pervasive throughout the American media. And I don't want white guys running around putting themselves on a victim cross. Don't do it, because the reality is this assault, this unfairness that the system has legalized, it's really not about you. It's about Jesus Christ. Because that's why they've defined Christianity as the white man's religion. That's a lie. It's not true. Any serious Christian knows that. But they have defined Christianity and fairness and truth as something white. And so they demonize everything white, everything masculine, everything that celebrates or promotes male leadership. They demonize that all as evil. And racial idolaters like Stephen A. Smith and many of the black people in the media who are just, and I can't even, I don't even know if they're idolaters. They just want the check. And so they see which way the wind is blowing. Well, you get money for promoting anti-white racism. I want money, I'll do it. I won't do it. The Fearless Move, we're not about that. Like what you saw? Hit that like button, subscribe, and check out the full episode by clicking the link below. Like what you saw? Hit that like button, subscribe, and check out the full episode by clicking the link below.